Dream Coach podcast, where we talk about building your dream life and business from the inside out through leadership, fulfillment, and growth. I'm Shayla Wey. I'm a small business coach, growth strategist, and believer that when you lead with purpose, everything changes. So today's topic is one I know we all relate to, especially if you're a leader, an entrepreneur, or honestly, just a human navigating life. And so today we're getting into a big leadership truth that changed everything for me in my journey of building teams, running a business, and coaching other small business owners to do the same. And this episode is called That Your Team Mirrors You, and how to raise the standard without saying a word. So whether you've got 2 team members or 20, here's what I found. The energy, habits, and standards you model as a leader are more powerful than anything you ever say in a team meeting. You don't need a pep talk, you need alignment. So I want to talk about your internal world and how that shapes your external results, and how to raise the standard in your business by raising it in yourself. So the first big truth that I had to learn the hard way is your team doesn't follow what you say, they follow what you do. So they're not listening to you, they're watching you. And what I found is that when I showed up late or disorganized, reactive, or inconsistent, it didn't matter what I told my team to do. They mirrored my energy every single time. But when I got clear, calm, committed to my own routines, suddenly they did too. Not because I asked them to, but because leadership is contagious. And that's the heart of my LFG pillar of leadership. You lead from the front by example, not from the back with pressure. Your standards also set the ceiling. So what I've noticed across every small business I've coached is your lowest personal standard becomes your team's highest bar. So if you allow excuses in yourself, you'll accept them from others too. If you bend boundaries for clients, your team will too. And if you skip the details, your team will do the same. So what I have found is that the most effective way to raise the bar is to raise your own bar quietly, consistently, and unapologetically. And here's the best part, is that when you do this, your fulfillment skyrockets. Because deep down, we all feel better when we're aligned with what we value, not just what we say we value. And this is where leadership meets fulfillment. So the energy you bring shapes the culture. So if you've ever walked into a room and felt the energy shift, your team feels that from you every single day. And what I found is that energy is everything. Your team will either absorb your chaos or your calm. They'll either match your stress or your steadiness. So you don't have to be fake or pretend everything's perfect, but when you're grounded in your mission, it creates safety, direction, and momentum for everyone around you. Now, if you want your team to care, stay inspired, and show up with passion, you have to first. So this is about emotional leadership, and trust me, your people do feel that. Now, systems is what we're going to need to back up standards. And this is often a part that I see is missed in a lot of businesses. Modeling the standard isn't just about mindset, it's also about your systems. And so what I have found is that people don't rise to the level of your intention, they rise to the level of your structure. So if your back end is chaos, your team's output will reflect that. So when I implemented better systems, clear onboarding, documented expectations, consistent feedback rhythms, my team became more empowered, less confused, and way more consistent. And that's growth in action. Scaling without overwhelm happens when you can help people step confidently into your business and know how to win. So mirror work isn't just personal, it's professional. And this one's deep, but stay with me for a minute. I used to think mirror work was all about self-love or mindset rituals. But in business, mirror work is often this: asking yourself, what are they reflecting back to me that I might not want to see? So if your team is disengaged, reactive, or messy, it's not about blame. It's about ownership. What have I allowed? What have I been tolerating? What have I modeled? That level of self-responsibility is where leadership gets powerful. And it's also where fulfillment and peace come from, because you stop trying to control people and you start leading yourself better. Now, when you raise you raise everything. And here's the most beautiful part of all of this is that when you level up who you are, everything around you levels up too. Your income, your team dynamic, your client experience, your personal peace, all of it. And what I have found is that raising the standard doesn't have to be loud. It's about silent consistency, quiet confidence, and a relentless commitment to growth, not perfection. Because your team is always watching. And when they see a leader who is steady, honest, and growing, they mirror that too. So that's how you build a business that you're proud of, not just one that pays the bills. So if your team is mirroring you, what are you reflecting right now? Is it urgency, clarity, calm, discipline, chaos? Whatever you see in them, use it as a leadership mirror. And remember, you don't have to say a word to raise the standard. You just have to embody it. So thank you for tuning in today. If this episode challenged you in a good way, take a screenshot, share it on Instagram, and tag me. I'd love to hear what your takeaways are. And remember that your dream life starts with the way you lead, the way you live, and the way you grow. I'll see you next time on your Dream Coach podcast.